Good morning, students. Today we are going to see chapter number 3, that is computer memory. Human memory is capable of acquiring, storing, and recalling information. Similarly, a computer has memory where it stores data and instructions. Humans tend to forget things with time, whereas a computer can retain data stored in its memory for a long time. Here it means that human being can store and recall information. That means we can keep the things which we want to keep in our brain. Okay, data, instructions, everything we can store in our memory. Similarly, computer also has a memory, okay, where it stores data and instructions. Then sometimes what happens, we are human beings, we forget things, isn't it? Whatever we stored in our memory, we forget it. But what about computer can retain those data stored in its memory for a long time. That means computer can give you back those memory. Okay, then uh, all next we will see all computer have some amount of memory. Okay, that means each and every computer has a memory, okay, where it stores data and instructions. The more memory a computer has, the more data and instructions can be stored in it. It depends on the memory of the computer, the amount of data you can store. Okay, data and instruction you can store in the computer. Okay, now let us see the next one. Next is how to measure computer memory. Okay, how we can say that computer has this much memory, or what is the amount of memory the computer can store. So here we will learn about it. A computer is made up of electronic circuits which have two sets, on and off. These two states are represented by the digits 1 and 0, called binary digits. Each binary digit is called a bit. A sequence of 8 bytes is bits is called a byte. One byte represents a single character or digit. It is the unit for measuring computer memory. Okay, here it is said that computer has electronic circuits. Okay, there are two states of electronic circuit. One is on and another one is off, isn't it? You have seen on and off. So these two states on is being represented by 1 and off is represented by 0. You might have seen in the your switches. Okay, 1 and 0 is written most of the time, but in computer you can on and off is, what is on and off in computer? 1 and 0. So this is called the binary digits. Okay, and each binary digit is called a bit. See, like here it is given 1, this is a bit. Okay, and here it is given 0, it is also a bit. But when we talk about all these 8 bits, okay, see, this becomes this 8, the sequence, this is sequence, isn't it? 1 0 1 0 1 1 0 1. This sequence is called a byte. What it is called? Byte. The sequence of 8 digits is called a byte. Okay. Now, one byte is represented by a single character or digit. Okay. So this, when we have this 8 byte, okay, so this is called a single character, and it is the unit for measuring computer memory. So like this only the computer's memory is being measured. Okay. Now we'll see the next. Now we'll come to see types of computer memory. Okay. You might have seen any now what are the types of memory, how we can measure the memory. Now we have completed. Now we'll see what are the types of computer memory. Types of computer memory. Computer memory is of two types. First one is primary memory and the second one is secondary memory. Okay. Now see, first here you can see in this diagram, this computer memory is there. Inside computer memory there are two types of memory, that is first one is primary memory and the second one is secondary memory. In primary memory we will learn ROM, RAM, and in secondary memory we have hard disk, SSD, CD, DVD, BD, pen drive and memory card. Okay. This primary memory is already there in the computer memory. Every time we have ROM and RAM. But this secondary memory, the secondary memory is the external memory which we add in our computer system, or if we want to increase the memory of the computer, so we are adding some external memories. We will look all of them one by one. Okay. So for the timing we'll come with the primary memory. First we'll start with primary memory. See here, primary memory. Okay. Primary memory is also called internal memory or main memory. Okay. It is in the form of memory chips that are attached to the motherboard of the computer or are built into it. It has limited capacity to store data. It is directly accessible to the CPU. The CPU reads the instructions stored in the primary memory continuously and executes them as and when required. Primary memory can be divided into two parts, ROM and RAM. Okay. What is said, as I told you, primary memory is also called internal memory or main memory. Why internal or main memory? Because when the computer system is assembled, okay, so at that particular time only this primary memory is inserted in the computer system. Okay. So it is also called internal memory or main memory. Okay. Now this when we talk about memory, so memory is just a memory chip that is attached to the motherboard of the computer system. Okay. And are already built into the computer system. Now it has limited capacity to store data. The main memory which is there, means the primary memory which is there in the computer, it has very limited storage capacity. Okay. The amount of data what we call, the more and more data we want to store. So when we can store more and more data, when we have more this memory power. So main memory doesn't have that much memory power as compared to the data which we want to store. So it has limited capacity to store data. Then it is directly accessible to the CPU. That means directly we can directly the computers, the data which we give or the instruction which we give is directly stored in the main memory. Then the CPU reads the instruction stored in the primary memory. Okay. the CPU, whatever data and instructions we give to the computer, it it reads the instructions stored in the primary memory continuously. Whatever is there in the CPU, that is being read. Okay, then and executes them as and when required. So whenever we require the instructions or data which we have stored, the CPU can read it. Okay, and even can execute them. Okay, now when we talk about primary memory, it is again divided into two. What are they? First one is ROM and the second one is RAM. Now we'll see what is ROM. Okay, when we talk about ROM, ROM stands for read only memory. Okay, what is the full form of ROM? Read only memory. Okay, let's start with ROM. ROM stands for read only memory. The instructions in ROM are written using laser technology by the manufacturers. It cannot be changed or modified by the user, hence called read only. Okay, the instructions in ROM stay in ROM even when the computer is switched off. Thus, ROM is non-volatile memory. Okay, now what happens when ROM stands for read-only memory? The instructions in ROM, the whatever instructions we give to the ROM are written using laser technology. Okay, then what happens? It is this technology is used by the manufacturers only. Okay, whosoever is manufacturing the ROM, they only write it, they only give the instructions to write those data and instruction in the laser, using laser technology only. Okay, and when if we want to modify anything in ROM, we cannot do that. That is why the name is given read only. That means you can only read the data and instructions. Okay, who can read the data and instruction? Only by the CPU. And when we switch off the computer system, whatever data is there in ROM, okay, that will never be deleted. Okay, never be deleted in the sense, if it's switched off also, then also that data will be saved in the ROM until and unless you delete it. Then due to this reason, read only memory, the ROM is a non-volatile memory. Okay, that means we cannot modify anything in it. So some common types of ROM, there are some common types of ROM. Let's see. Some common types of ROM are programmable ROM. The short form abbreviation of it is PROM. Next one is erasable programmable ROM, that is EPROM, and electrically erasable programmable ROM, that is EEPROM. Electrically erasable programmable ROM. Okay, so the size of ROM depends on the processor inside the CPU. Okay, there is a processor in the CPU. The capacity, okay, the size, what we call the capacity of the memory of the computer. So size which we need, or the size of the ROM, whatever, as I told you, it does not have much memory. Okay, as we spoke about primary memory, it doesn't have, it has limited amount of storage memory. So when we talk about the size of ROM, it depends on the processor which is there inside the CPU. What is the capacity of the processor? According to that only the size of the ROM depends. Okay, so students, for today this is the class. Tomorrow in the next class we will continue the next topic. Okay.